me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Look, look. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Watch me. Sit back. Sit back. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back.
Hi, my name is Prestige, or Austin, and I'm from Indiana. The characters I play in the game Valorant would be Sky, Omen, and Sage. I guess I'd say the main concern I had before I joined Esports Tower would be the price point. Yeah, I was like, wow, wait, that's really cheap, and there's so much that comes along with it, and honestly, I was really concerned about that at first. I guess I'd say after I joined, I was pretty surprised on the amount of like good quality coaching I was getting for the price point I was given. I could say I've had a really enjoyable time here. There were a lot of things that I could improve on when I first joined, but I'd say I had a really big aha moment when I figured out that I could position myself better to avoid or outplay the enemy when I'm playing Valorant. I started off pretty lackadaisical. I was like, oh, wow, I could see it myself too. When I was pointing it out and like did a VOD review and I just talked to my teammates, it really improved my gameplay and I've really shot up the rank. I mean, if you're really sitting on the fence about joining ET, all I gotta say is just try it out. It's $5. You'll be pleasantly surprised about the quality of coaching that you get while you're in here. And honestly,
at the world from the eye of the Horus. If you Alexander the Great, then I am the Porus. Coming straight from the mud like I am a lotus. So हाथियों का बल कैसे सकेगा तू मुझे रोक अब देख तू कैसे मैं लड़ूं तुम लोगों से ऐसे ना डरूं तरूं मैं जैसे मैं तरुण पानी पे चलूं मैं जैसे मैं वरुण चाहे मैं जीऊं या मरूं जो करना चाहूं मैं वही तो करूं आता है तू ना करीब तू बेटी चीप जब तक कटे ना तेरी ये जीप better believe you're gonna bleed pick up a seat get in your team I'm the king of kings brother in arms in a battle you all gonna die if you act.
Hello and welcome to another stream here at Tenax series Game Changer series. It's an exciting one for sure, but we're going to be starting a little bit chill, but not for one team, and that team is Prosperity X, who are riding on the outcome of this series between these two teams to see whether or not they get eliminated or qualified for the playoffs. But I can't be doing this alone, even though I may be a cupcake and nice and delicious one at that. But if you come across me in ranked, I will certainly be cooking you for sure. But I can't be doing this alone, like I said. What about you, Soren?
I'm feeling great. Like you said, the whole like shape of the playoffs really does come down to this game because it's not even just whether one team gets in or not. It's also comes down to seeding as well. So there's a lot riding on this game. Unfortunately, Aquila are I don't think in contention to make it to playoffs. So they are a little bit limited on what they're playing for today, but the result from their performance can completely shake the landscape of the rest of the playoffs. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm really excited to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, absolutely. Skyline Otters have been playing incredibly well so far. They have had a couple of games, you know, postponed for various reasons, and so they are, some of the remaining games left to be played is Skyline Otters, and like you were saying, it is about seeding. If Skyline Artists win this 2-0, then they're going to be putting themselves first in Group A and guaranteeing themselves a bye in the playoffs too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that buy is a massive thing to play for, obviously. That pretty much guarantees you a semifinal. Oh, that does guarantee you a semifinals run, and it gets you one step closer to that finals and possibly to the championship. So I think both Skyline Otters are going to be really hungry here to get this win. I mean, Aquila haven't had a great run in the competition so far, so I think Skyline are going to be feeling really confident. But everyone loves a good underdog story, and everyone loves a good upset. So I think this is going to shape up to be a very interesting game, especially because we are going on to one of the more chaotic maps, I think, or of the most recent map additions. I think Corrode, our first map for the day, is one of the most chaotic. Obviously, the Odin meta is in full swing, so I'm expecting to see some of that. But I'm expecting a lot of chaos here as we really get into this map one.
Yeah, I love the Odin meta. Actually, I think Odin is probably one of my favorites. Weapons in the entire game, and maybe some people are not going to be quite so happy with that comment, but honestly, it's just such a fun weapon to play. You hold down left mouse click and just bullets go everywhere across the map on the other side, and there's someone on the other side, they're getting hit, and call me silly for enjoying point and click adventures, but that's the kind of game I do enjoy. But here we go. We do have a quick look at the map picks. It's not just a Corrode. The second map picked by Skyline Otters will be Abyss, before Haven being our decider. Reasonably common maps, I would say, but Corrode being the newest one, and Abyss, I think, is a little bit of an uncommon map pick.
Yeah, Abyss, I think, is definitely the odd one out here. Corrode, because of how much game time it is getting, it's actually, I think, a lot of players and teams really like that map. So even though it's the newest, it's still getting a lot of gameplay. Haven is Haven. It feels like every team falls back on Haven when nothing else is working. So Abyss is definitely the weird one. It's also, I think, the most unique of the three. It plays very different. Obviously, there's the environmental hazards as well with the ability to fall off the map. So game two, I think, will be very interesting. That's going to be where we see a lot of the variation for the different compositions that these teams can run. Corrode, though, I'm not expecting anything crazy. I will say veto is not in effect. So veto is not going to be playable for this week. I don't know about playoffs, but I imagine, a week or two under the belt, we might see them be unlocked. But for this week, for the final week here of the actual group stage, no veto will be played.
Yes, actually, I believe just looking at this now, an announcement from the admin of the tournament, Fangs, that veto will not be eligible for usage during Series 5, including the playoffs, just because of how they're choosing to do that. Which, honestly, I don't think that's an unusual choice from tournament admins when a new kind of character comes out in any kind of game. You know, you just kind of want to make sure that the teams are continuing to go on the same sort of, tournament integrity that you had before without trying to throw in completely new curveballs, all of a sudden halfway through the series. That just doesn't quite make sense. And I think that's a really common and sensible decision by team admins.
Yeah, absolutely. It does level out the playing field, doesn't inject a little bit of extra chaos into the mix. So that is going to be something to keep in the back of your mind. Obviously, Veto, their introduction will be a big change up to the meta, shutting everything down. But as we do speak about agent compositions, I think we're going to be getting into agent select here with the fancy camera. Again, we are going over to Road first, and we do see the first set of lineups here between these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing really too surprising here for me. You're seeing we're seeing Omen, we're seeing Neon, we're seeing Device as well. All very common picks to be choosing, but we're already in halfway through the pistol round, and it looks like things are going well for Skyline Otters already. 3 members down. And another pick found here. As they're trying to find their bearings all the way around in mid. With plenty of control.
Yeah, a lot of space was taken in B, and we do see the value of the waylay there, taking a lot of space, catching 2 people. I don't know if they're aware of the third sitting in mid, but the pullback is where that value comes out. It's a get out of jail free card that they have. They won't have it before this hold. Angel getting that first pick is huge.
Absolutely beautiful headshot there by Angel to start off the retake here against Aquila, who are in an interesting position. But unfortunately, it's not really going to matter too much. And you just come in there and get those entry picks just like that. And now it's just a case of defusing the spike, and it's going to be putting Skyline Otters in a good position already.
Yeah, I mean, 3 ghosts. I think both players for Aquila actually had classics there, so it was not an optimal, layout for them. But we do see that they are not gonna go for the NRG strat. I forget which team ran it, but even when they lose the first round, they go for the Stinger buyout. So not going for that. It does look like we're seeing a little bit of an investment here, though. Double frenzy, a ghost, no shielding. So it is gonna be a pretty much heavy save, but they're gonna be running Judge on Valentina, which it can be very, very deadly in the hands of the Neon, especially when they're just running up mid. So much space has been taken. They're just choking out Aquila's map control.
I mean, this mid is always going to be so valuable in this map. We've seen it being played out again and again in Corrode. And so far, the teams are just playing it quite slowly here, not really taking... I mean, there's being plenty of space taken, but they're not playing aggressively. And I think that makes sense given your current situation. Or maybe I should take that back because the Judge goes in deep. Is able to find a kill. Only one that gets treated out immediately. Marshall is able to pick up a kill somewhere else on the map on the Omen. And Skyline Otters are closing in around the team.
1 enemy remaining.
And there isn't really much options available left for Aquila. Only 1 member alive now in a 1v2 situation. They have the spike with them. The mid has been cleared. But, they just get flashed out there by Colby, picking up the kill. A player who we've actually seen quite a few times before in this series.
Yeah, Colby, I know when I watched Skyline a couple weeks ago, it was really the Colby and the Cake Muncher show. They were going absolutely crazy across the map, but Colby really willing their team forward. So we'll keep an eye on them. They were playing, a little bit more of an opping role in that situation. I think they were playing both Jet and Chamber. So a little bit different here as we do see them rocking that KO. So more of an initiator contact agent. As we do see now full buy coming out from Aquila. It's met by some rifles. Heavy investment.
Spike down.
A beautiful kill there by Florentina, getting 2 shotgun kills with the Judge. And set them up nicely with the rewards alone.
Here.
I mean, it's already shut down their offensive there as well by Aquila. They're choosing to maybe consider going down a different route. And I think Skyline Otters have absolutely called it, and they are making their moves as well.
Such a deep hold from Colby here. He's gonna get caught out. Only had a pistol, so it's not the biggest loss, but it does make it a 3v3. So trying to take the space in mid.
Taking it slowly, making their choices as to where they go, but they're unaware of this Neon hiding behind this Astra, and unfortunately it doesn't pay off for them this time around. Florentina unfortunately going down there, but there is this Marshall posted up here.
Last player
They
standing.
aren't able to find the kill either, with someone getting the kill great beautifully into it, now putting
30
themselves in a
seconds
3v1
left.
situation. Despite going down, I don't think there's any way that Otters might be able to win this, but maybe I spoke a little bit too soon, as Cake Muncher picks up the first kill already. An aggressive Omen.
Super low health bars here. They're gonna have to play very carefully.
Absolutely. All of those previous engagements are really kind of like chipped away at their health bars. There's only so much that they can do. Playing around the spike now, trying their best
enemy remaining.
force 1v1 situations. There goes one. They only need to get a little bit of a tap on the other player. And they're looking the wrong way. Beautifully gets the kill. And now that is the third round there for Skyline Otters secured. Holy, the spike does not go. It does not. There's plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time on the clock. I honestly, I mean, I was gonna say maybe a spam angle there would have worked. I mean, obviously the walls are made of paper here on this map of Corrode, so I think that would have been viable. And then, oh no, that was Aquila's third round. That was a buyout for them. They had the rifles and the penetration to actually do it. I was thinking, oh no, they probably didn't have the buy for it, but no, they did. But instead they try to play close and around, even though they know both their health bars are low. Just a little bit of a misplay there is going to give Skyline Otters a great position here in game number 1. Obviously, 3-0 is nice, but, I mean, they didn't invest all that much into that last round, so their wallets are looking really healthy, even after a heavy buyout.
That is true, and that's going to affect their strategy going into this round. Bit of a battle going down here in B, but they aren't able to find the kills. Prowler coming out as well, trying to scout out those players. But Skyline Otters are playing aggressively as other players around swarming in.
One enemy remaining.
And they've immediately taken down half their players, taking it all to one. Should be a really dominant victory by Skyline Otters in that round.
Yeah, just too much firepower in the pocket of Skyline Otters. And, I mean, they're really living that Roman strategy of the best defense is a good offense. Who needs to sit back and defend the site when you can push down main and find kills and put your team in an advantageous situation? Aquila are going to try to make an adaptation here. Obviously, they tried to go heavy into B. They found a lot of utility from the Vice. So they are going to make the swap over, go over towards A. This might be a pretty good read. The only player sitting here is this Omen. They'll appear a lot of presence in mid, and it's all 3 members, so A is weak.
Yeah, and they seem to be hitting A site as well. Just their luck might be the luck that they need, but unfortunately, a couple of Skyline Otter members have come around just in time, and they are able to get a couple of kills. 3, in fact. All well flashed as well.
Last player standing.
It's all that they really needed, even though A site was seemingly the weaker side. It did not matter to Skyline Otters as they win yet another round here in dominant faction 5-0. It's not looking good for Aquila, and it's not looking good either for Prosperity X, who really needed Aquila to be getting these victories.
Yeah, Prosperity definitely going to start sweating a little bit watching this game. Skyline Otter are not just looking good, they're looking really clean with it. As we do see yet another round that you fully expect goes their way. They're all sitting at 3, almost 4,000 and above. I mean, Aquila, really rough situation. One person with anything more than a sheriff, and it's just that Spectre. As we see yet again, Florentina just getting into a really good position in mid, making it very difficult for Aquila to take any space, and then putting down fire, just doing a little bit of chip damage to make them question even more the viability of any actual push. It looks like A is where they want to go, but it's very similar setup to last time. They're going to be stalled out, and they're just going to be kind of swarmed here by Skyline Otters, as they even cut off the means to exit.
I mean, this mid control from Skyline Otters has been so crucial, and the kills that they've just been able to wrap around,
Last player
come
standing.
back and from behind them as well. Florentina, Evans, Colby getting all the kills. 1v4 situation. Ain't no way you're coming back from that. And unfortunately, Elaborate seals the deal. Yet another map victory for Skyline Otters. I think it's just all in this mid control. What do you think?
I mean, absolutely is the case. Mid is very important on this map. It makes rotating to either site incredibly easy, and it makes it very quick as well. So the fact that Skyline Otters are consistently pushing up super aggressive, investing utility, even at the cost of losing a little bit of control of A, it means that despite the fact that they may lose a little bit of A control or A main control, they're just able to rotate so quickly and suffocate any attack, much like we saw in the last round, where the means of egress were also cut off, and then some really good timing with utility just means that they're just cleaning up these rounds left and right. We do see a little bit more of an investment here now, able to actually get the full buy. Notably, every member of Aquila is sitting on their ultimate, so they have, you know, tide turning ultimates that they can use in this round. Skyline Otters only have 2 available. A little bit better rotation for them. That's a huge double kill from throwing, open up the site.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Florentina and Colby on the other side of the map in mid are going to be having a little bit of a word about that. And they get their own kills now, controlling mid as they face down these 2 players.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
they are able to get a couple of kills now. That is beautiful. Setting up in a 1v1 situation. Gold down to this. But in the end, even in that beautiful setup, beautiful entry picks there by Aquila, it just wasn't enough in the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, throwing, doing the exact opposite of their name, trying to drag their team over the line. I think with a triple kill in that round. I think also coming down to the final player, just cannot get over the line. Yeah, 7-0. Skyline Otters looking possibly for a flawless here, as they have not. That was the first round, I think, where we saw them actually go down to just 1 player. So it's been all Skyline Otters here, as yet again Aquila, they're gonna invest a little bit there. We do see the Bucky, but overall it's a pretty low buy, and it's gonna be pretty fast hitting the beat.
Spike down B.
Yeah, it does indeed. It appears to be a pretty quick hit on the beat. Skyline Otters rotating around already. They don't know where the spike is, but they have already committed a number of utility options available for Aquila. And, well, in the end, Aquila is still going down. Bucky finds a kill! Yes! Favorite weapon, aside from the Odin, which is also being presented here by Angel, spamming through the wall, trying to find a kill. But it seems like they're backing up all into the warm embrace of Cake Muncher and Colby. Oh, that is beautiful.
Colby.
Brutal to watch. Oh my word.
Oh, that's a little mean, I won't lie. Sitting there staring at your opponent. I knew they started flashed, and that they were definitely not flashed anymore. They just sat there and watched as their teammates executed the last member of Aquila. That's a little rough. Skyline Otters, though, doing a really good job cycling their ultimates. Aquila, I definitely think I would like to see a little bit more from them in terms of ult usage. They've only used 1 since I last brought it up. And in that time, Skyline Otters have not missed a step and are now sitting back on 4 ultimates each. We do see immediately this Astral Divide come out. It's going to make it difficult here. More so for them to take the site.
I was just wondering that. I was like, I'm not entirely sure. I think this Astral is a great option here. Using this TP now, though, as best as they can. All the teams kind of cuddled up onto A site, but Florentina here is sitting behind them and is just waiting their time. And that trigger blitz is insane. It's granted them 2 free kills straight off the bat. It's a huge victory there for Skyline Otters. Not only do they know where some of the players are, they know where they're rotating, but it's almost forcing them, panicking them into going to A. They've lost all control of the map. They just know where to go. Another ultimate coming out as well from Skyline Otters. Able to disable them, and they've got yet another setup here. Colby just waiting, lying there. Able to turn it down now into a 1v2 situation. This might weirdly be the best situation for Aquila so far. Which is not how I was expecting it to go.
Yeah, the Astral Divide, I don't know what the overall effect was, but it is a 1v2. Notably here, Elaborate has the read, but can't
10
find
seconds
them,
left.
but is
Spike
expecting the rat.
planted. One enemy remaining.
There's one more player on site, jumping on top of... Oh, no! First victory there for Aquila, though. Thankfully, Taylor V finds the final shot and is able to win that 1v1. Knows that they were going to be positioned on. I think, you know, just hearing them land on top is going to give them all away as to where they are. I mean, there's really not much you can do. You already knew... They already knew where you were, and so you're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage with so much angles available to the opponents to shoot you from. So, and you got the spike as well. But what do you think?
It was by the hair of their chin, though. I mean, 33 health remaining is all that the Sky had left. So it was almost a clutch for that Vice, but not quite. As we do see Skyline Otters actually adjust a little bit here. The first time they really have had to do so. Not taking as much mid control, but maybe a little bit of a fake out. We see that Omen smoke that they've been doing round after round. It's a little bit of a fake out here, as it's a pretty heavy stack towards A. The Omen got into an advanced position, then the KO. They're expecting something heavy, but they actually don't find anything, so they're having to default a little bit here, as we see both this KO and Neon kind of sitting in that mid space waiting for something. We do finally get something from Aquila here, looking like B is their destination of choice.
Just look like it will be a B hit at long last, but unfortunately for someone, they go fly straight into the crosshair, and Florentine is poking around the side with this Neon, picks up a 4K this round. I don't believe it. Oh my word, Florentina, I've seen them play before. They are an exceptionally strong player, and my word, getting a 4K, 19 kills this game. What on earth are they on?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was gonna say how much value Elaborate was able to get on that site, despite, you know, getting shot down first, but in the end, yet again, it's just another mantra of the best defense is a good attack, as they just get run down in main. Who needs to worry about spray control when you're standing there and their barrel is practically at their chest? But we do see, yet again, this alteration come into effect, and it is going to be red there. Summerwinks is going to spot the KO, but instead of backing away, they're actually going to push up more aggressive.
Yeah, an incredibly aggressive play now, but now with the Neon using their ultimate, I mean, I think they're probably going to get plenty of value out of it. And now they know where the spike is as well. This is almost certainly a round over for Aquila, unless we can see the absolute dream. No, we don't. Ace comes out, though, from Florentina. Oh my word. They have been doing amazingly, and I was not expecting an ace, but I mean,
yeah,
I'm not sure
it's
what I
looking
can
a little
say
rough.
more. Yeah, it is looking quite rough.
Yeah, Prosperity was sweating a little bit earlier. I think Prosperity, I don't want to be doomer, but I think Prosperity are definitely starting to look at the table and go, okay, it looks like we might be the 3 seed. Because I mean, Skyline Otters, like I said before, it's not even that they're just playing really good; they're playing really clean. They are just playing it and not giving them any room to breathe. And you see yet again just this mid fight play out, and yet again they find the value from it.
Florentina finds a kill through a wall, no less. Isn't able to get the ace this time around as Angel picks up their own kill with the Odin. But I feel like this team now is playing just a little bit casually, but incredibly well and cleanly. They're taking this seriously. Aquila are down to a 1v2 situation. The Prowler comes out, they know where they are. And now there's just someone bunny hopping with a shotgun around the corner. Tactical decisions. Tactical B-hopping.
Yeah. This is also, I feel like, beyond anything else, I also feel like this is the tale of momentum. Obviously, Skyline Otters have been on a kind of crazy run. I think I think the last time I saw them play, I think they played Catnappers, so I think was top of their table, and they ended up losing to them, but they, I think, won every other game. So they're coming into this in really good form, really feeling good. I think they played Gulpers yesterday and won that. So the momentum, and on top of just winning so many rounds off the bat, it's not even just a skill difference or a skill gap. It is just Skyline Otters are feeling really good. And at the end of the day, Valorant is a video game. You play a lot better when you're having a good time, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that can claim that Skyline Otters aren't having a good time right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the mental game is oh so important. You can't let yourself get on the down either. Even when you are in a situation where you're 10 maps down, staring down a site retake against 5 players.
Peace off.
I just it's not looking good for them, unfortunately. But you can't let it get to you. You cannot let it get to you because you never know what may happen. We might very well see an ace from one of the members of Aquila. Will we see that? Probably not. But 2v3 situation, they could turn it around still.
Last player standing.
Oh,
Looking less hopeful by the day. 1v2 situation now. With both of the players around at the box, they're playing together, which is perfect. Exactly how you want to be playing. You don't want to be letting them isolate those 1v1s. They go down to Spike, and now it is match point for Skyline Otters.
That was rough. I think that was Sabo Winks, and man, the classic left click there, just not giving enough time to reset, and it really is the tale of the classic. One of those moments where I go, why does my classic not do what everyone else's does? And the shots just go a little bit wide, even though they isolate the fight like they really wanted to. They were in a good position, but I think almost any other piece of firepower there, and it might go their way, at least a lot better than that. I do see them trying to pick up the strategy that we saw Skyline Otters pull out, playing very aggressive, trying to meet them in their own territory.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually a good play by Aquila. They've been playing incredibly passively for the past 12 rounds, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to be a little bit too late, as unfortunately, a couple of members of Aquila already go down. They have been able to tag one, take another member of Skyline Otters down in this defense. 3v2 situation.
One enemy remaining.
Unfortunately, Skyline Otters, they now have mid, and they've taken down the player with a Marshall, and making sure to double tap to make sure that the player was absolutely dead. And it's just, unfortunately, quick on the trigger there. Skyline Otters bringing the victory. Another round victory there.
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm struggling for words.
It's one of those parts. Yeah, I mean, I know you know it, Yafa, but it really is difficult to call and commentate for what I could only really describe as a blowout, because it's just like one team is playing super well and one team is struggling to deal with it. So it's hard to not just keep repeating the same things. But man, Skyline Otters are just it's crazy. They're looking amazing. They looked really clean. I liked how they were playing the map a lot. I mean, like I said before, mid is so important for Corrode. And not only were they constantly putting pressure on it, even when they weren't actually putting pressure on mid, they were doing some of the same things that they did on those rounds where they were taking space to simulate the fact that they were doing so. So after they lost that first round, they still popped that Omen smoke down long in mid, which made Aquila really question and not take any space that they easily could have. There was no one sitting in mid. Everyone was sitting on a site. But because that Omen smoke was down, they denied information. It did exactly what they wanted to do. Skyline Otters just in the heads of Aquila, as we do see the stats on the board. And I mean, it really is a tale of one team, and Florentina on this Neon just going absolutely insane in the process. 536 ACS, by the way.
That is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've seen an ACS that high in a very long time, yet alone in a game like this, in a tournament setting. I mean, that is truly incredible to see an ACS quite so high. And the KD as well, 28 to 10. That's crazy. You're getting how many kills a round on average? There's two and a half.
More than two,
Yeah.
like 2.2 or something like that, because it's 26 for two. So yeah, it's a big hill to climb, and the big thing that I'm looking at is those first kills, because obviously it looks like Squeeze got one first kill there, but the game only went 14 rounds. So between them, almost half of the first kills went to them, and 5 of them were for Skyline Otters. This is such a momentum game, and especially when you're constantly behind, getting first kills are the things that really help a team get back into the fight. So the fact that not only were they winning rounds confidently, but they were also constantly getting those first bloods made it so much more difficult for Aquila to really get a foothold into the map. I mean, what more can I say? Skyline Otters looking really good on map number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just so many amazing things that Skyline Otters were doing there. Like you said, they had the smoke down mid that was making Aquila think, oh, they must be close. We must be play dangerously and we're scary of the dangerous mid that's there. But nobody was there. Skyline Otters had vacated the area. They were all on the sites and they'd left mid completely free for the taking. The first kills were absolutely dominant. They were able to roll with that momentum so incredibly well. Uh, Aquila, they struggled with that. And sometimes you do have to accept that you are probably going to lose a round or two in the hopes of trying to get a round win. But even when they did try that, they just got shut down so hard by Skyline Otters. There was some rounds where they might have been able to win it, where there was some hope of winning it, but unfortunately, just the execution was not quite there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it actually looks like both teams are pretty much ready to go. So obviously we still have Asian select to go through, but I think we could probably go right into game number 2, which is going to be the map of Abyss. I know we saw the kind of graphic going into game number 1, but Abyss, like we kind of mentioned, Yeffa, very different. It's actually
Hmm.
a lot harder to play more aggressive on that defensive side. So I actually am expecting a pretty big change coming out from Skyline Otters, because I don't think that strategy, the best defense is an offense. I don't think that strat is going to work as well for them this time around.
So sure, I think we might be seeing some quite dominant gameplay from Skyline Otters because Abyss was the map pick of Skyline Otters, I believe. So I, I yeah, it's not going to be going with the kind of gameplay that we were seeing before in the first round. But I think that's sorry, the first map of Corrode. But I think that's kind of how you play Corrode. And if you're able to adapt and you are confident on a different map like Abyss and playing that, then I think that you're probably going to be going in, with a strong strategy, with a strong idea of how to be playing that kind of map. And while you're right, it might be playing well into the hands of Aquila. If it's playing slowly and it's playing around, map control, I mean, I still think that Skyline Otters were demonstrating some very strong skills in that map control, which was allowing them to be so dominant in Crud, not just that from the aggression.
Yeah, I do agree to an extent. I do think it's gonna look very different though. Obviously,
Yes.
on Road, we were seeing like 2 or 3 people just pushing. We saw 1-3-1 a lot. One player on each site, and then 3 in the middle, just constantly putting super almost over aggression into mid. Like I think another team like a Prosperity or Catnappers would have probably punished them for it. But we didn't see it really happen on Corrode. I think here we're not going to see as much of a heavy presence. I would not be surprised if we see like a 2-1-2, but this is, a map where we do see Chamber a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of presence from Chambers or an opping agent or someone on the opping role, put a lot of pressure onto that mid space. Maybe another pair. I do see one Chamber in play from Skyline Otters. I could in theory see a 2-2-1 where, 2 on one site for a heavy lean, 1 on another for a weak side, and then like that Sova and Chamber being used in combination in that mid space to just take a lot of pressure using the info off the dart and then the pressure from the Chamber. I think that could find a lot of value. I would not be surprised if we saw that. Though Aquila, we actually see a little bit of different. We see the lone harbor Harbor not really in the meta right now, even more so, I don't think, as a solo sentinel. Or not sentinel,
Yes.
controller. So it's definitely, maybe they got some secret strat. Maybe they got the secret sauce that they're going to use to cook up a win here.
I don't know, man. I'm not. I mean, I don't know what to think about this Harvard pick. I think it's an interesting choice. Harbor's not really been in the meta, it's not really been picked at all. I think there's maybe one map where Harbor might be okay as a choice, but we're seeing already some aggression from Aquila already onto the site. Skyline Otters are going around, giving them, sandwiching them in the middle and saying, hey, you know, if you're not going to be doing this quickly, we're just going to make it quick for you. And that is another quick round win again from Skyline Otters, only dropping one member and not, unfortunately for Aquila, not able to secure the site.
Yeah, maybe a little bit slowed up there. Notably, I will say I was incorrect. It's not a solo controller. They do have an Omen. I didn't see Wonder on the Omen there, which I do like significantly better. The one thing that I am a little worried about is that we definitely want to see Aquila with a bit of a stronger start. And this is a very defensive-sided composition for them, and they're starting on the attacking side, which does scare me a little bit, especially as Skyline Otters. While it's a very different look to last time, are continuing to put a lot of pressure on mid. And we see it yet again there. And they're yet again willing to collapse on a team once they expect and see a full push onto a site.
I mean, they've been getting so many of these, you know, when they have collapsed onto teams, they've been getting them like for free. They've been so dominant about it, and I could just haven't been able to really respond very well and deal with these kind of collapses. This is really putting a lot of pressure on them to either kind of, you know, like, which way do you go? Do you play into the aggression? Do you play this way? Do you play that way? And it's also a part of like map control as well. If you don't control any of the map, then you're just going to get destroyed with, you know, coming across players and lurkers like Florentina there, picking up a kill and finding the spike. Now they know where the spike is. They can play differently. They can play confidently. Wonder now they're being placed in a 1v2 situation, but unfortunately for them, somebody's got a sightline all the way down the chamber, and now they're going to be facing into a bit of an interesting situation for sure. Surely, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. In the middle of my yapping, Wonder picks up the spike, he's heading over to A. He's now facing a 1v1 situation with the knife out, and unfortunately doesn't win the gun duel, it seems. So
Level heads until we're home.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just little mistakes there. I think Aquila could have had a real shot in that round. I mean, obviously it was a 1v2, but they leave the spike back in spawn, which on its own is fine, but they leave it in open air, like in the middle of that kind of four-way intersection, which means once they push up into mid, Skyline Otters see it, so they're just able to play around it. So, you know, the one player was able to kind of get away, bunny hop away from that chamber who was pushing up aggressively on them. But then the moment they spot the spike, they know, I mean, yeah, they've taken a lot of space on A, but they can't do anything with it. They have to pull back to get this spike. And in the end, they just kind of look a little bit scattered. We do see now, obviously, Aquila's full buy round. Elaborate is sitting on site, though, playing very aggressively on this Cypher, despite only having a classic.
I think this is actually a very good play by the Cypher, using a good choice of locations for the tripwires, playing very well, and they've been able to, you know, allow themselves to play this, you know, second where they've let the other team come in and poke their heads in, and found it being removed quickly by not just Cypher, but also their teammate here, Elaborate. Oh, sorry, Elaborate is the Cypher, my bad. I should put them into a bit of a situation, but it is an opportunity for Aquila to maybe get a round win, but they're caught off guard by Elaborate, who picks up the kill. Now it's a 2v1 situation. But unfortunately, it was not quite enough there by Saverwinks, and Skyline Otters do get that once again. But man, I think that was probably one of the closer rounds yet.
I do agree. I mean, obviously the Harbor dies looking the other way, facing the other way, which is not amazing. They had one player sitting back in main, but they weren't really keeping a good watch, or they were changing which angles they were watching. So this Harbor constantly had to keep alternating between which angle they were looking at, their left, their right, up in heaven. And because of that, they get caught looking the other way. It's just a little bit rough. I think that was their best round to win. But yet again, we see the bonus go the way of Skyline Otters. And like I said, kind of in the pre-rounds, this Sova, I'm expecting to see them sit in mid the entire time. That's what we saw for the last couple rounds, but the information gathering potential that they have is just so helpful. And then paired with the Odin, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Florentina.
Florentina comes in clutch. Picks up a couple of kills, just casually, you know. It's like, oh, well, it's fine. Don't worry, guys. Bang, bang. Heads come off. And once again, another round win by Skyline. But, you know, you were saying about the being able to scout with a Sova drone being so useful. And honestly, I have to agree, you know. And that was a great demonstration of it as well, where they did scout out into, you know, mid. They were able to spot those 2 players. Unfortunately, they go down. But I like the idea that was there.
Yeah. And the moment they see the 1, and then also the fact that the 1 wasn't the one that got the kill, so it confirms 2 are there. It means that the Waylay is able to rotate through, so Florentina is able to clean up the mess. Okay, Colby does just kind of walk into the fray, is going to die, so that's going to be a first blood going over to Aquila. This is actually a pretty good round for them. I think they're on a buyout. Yeah, they are on a buyout as well, so this is a winnable position for them.
Absolutely, but I think it's all going to come down to this Vice and Angel here using their ultimate already to try and delay the plan a little bit longer. But Florentina playing incredibly aggressively, playing the Angels against the players in isolated 1v1s. Unfortunately, is able to go down eventually by throwing, but it just doesn't really matter because there's still 2 members left of Skyline Otters alive. As Sova empties their Odin.
Yeah, they're just checking the trigger, make sure it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. As that is 5 rounds on the board, obviously that was a buy-in round for Aquila, so they are yet again gonna be on this low buy. Yeah, I'm not expecting anything to really change. Skyline Otters, obviously, I've been making some micro adjustments, but nothing like crazy. We do see Colby, I mentioned in game 1 that last time I saw them, they were rocking that chamber with a little bit more of an opping roll. We do finally see that chamber pick up the full op, so that's something to look out for, but I'm not expecting anything really crazy beyond that to change. Colby sitting over on B with that long angle. And yet again, Sova sitting on the mid, just continuing to gather information.
Yeah, I think the setup from Skyline Otters is honestly very well thought out, and there is very little weaknesses in the kind of composition, the way that they set up on these sites. But unfortunately, it seems like Aquila are making a good call here. They've managed to make enough noise onto A site that Skyline Otters are believing that it's going to be an A hit, but it's not. The spike is all the way over on B. 3 members already committing. Will they be able to set up and make the site defensible against a retake? Because Kate Muncher, who was calling their bluff, has already come across. We had a beautiful 1-hit KO already. Goes down eventually. Now it's a 2v4 situation in the favor of Aquila. They have been able to set up. Will they be able to look at the right angles confidently and pick those kills?
Yeah, they have to be careful about the wall. The Odin is not a great tool here. Not a lot of easy wall bangable positions. 1 down. Elaborate goes through on the swing, finds it. We do see the ultimate invested from the Yoru, so that's going to be information gathered. And we'll get behind them, but I don't know if they're going to have the read.
1 enemy remaining.
But no, they're all falling. Playing for the post plant. They won't have it. I don't think they'll have the stick either. No. Aquila will get around on the board, but it comes down to time. They almost lose the, 4v2. But, I mean, a round is a round, and you take any win you can get when you're this far in the dirt.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I like the idea that they were going for there, and I think because of that was how they won the round. Again, you know, it wasn't looking particularly confident or strong from the side of Aquila. It just feels like they're getting blindsided by a few things that Skyline Otters are doing with their positioning, and that alone is making all the difference. I mean, I guess it is called a tactical positional shooter, whatever, for a good reason. So.
Yeah. As we do see, and again, this Sova just sitting in mid, waiting, trying to get any information possible. The drone also being invested. Won't see anything, but noise is being made over on A. But right now, it's very slow from Aquila overall.
It is very slow, but I feel like they've been playing very slow in general a lot of the times in this series, and it's not always worked out for them for the best of ways. But we do see Colby here posted up. He's able to get a kill already with the AWP. Finds a second. Sorry, does not find a second. There we go. Finds a second at last, but doesn't go out without being traded down. But it's all that they really needed because they weren't able to spot Spike. And they are able to rotate around. But they've been putting themselves in a better position. This might maybe be the good turn for Aquila. Maybe be able to get more than one round this map. There's a couple of members already getting them. They have able to extract that orb that they stole. But not without going down, unfortunately.
One enemy remaining.
There's still a Spike that they could be maybe playing around. Doesn't matter. The remaining player, Saboinks, is playing all the way off site, quite far away from their teammates, unfortunately. He isn't able to really help with the team too much, and, well, now the Spike's been defused. That's another round win for Skyline Otters.
Yeah, I mean, they had a 3v2 advantage there, but the Sova's all the way over on A as they're going for the plant on B. Meanwhile, I guess they were expecting the rotate to be a little bit slower, but Skyline Otters are so on top of the rotations that it means that they're practically already on B by the time the Spike is going down, really catching them as they're trying to leave site. So they're not able to get that post-plant position that they've been trying to play for in the last couple rounds set up, which means it's practically a 2-on-2, even though the Sova's still in play. By the time they get to the site, the two teammates have fallen. It's just a really rough spot for them. Do now have to be put into a position here where they have to play aggressive.
Yeah, well, they are playing aggressive. Skyline Otters. They're getting those kills as all of Aquila are falling in. Getting those kills. Colby picking up another kill with their utility and their ultimate. But what do I say, man? I don't know. They went down really quick. It was really good aiming. Which is true. It was.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, you know what? In the great wise words of the sage known as Bren Casts on the Plat Chat podcast, it's a shooter game. It's an FPS. You shoot them, they die. At the end of the day, you shoot them and they die. The tactics doesn't matter. But yeah, no, Skyline Otters just kind of enforcing their will onto this game. 7-1 is the scoreline. And they're just making it look clean. Even the round that they won in both games, it's been very, very close. Skyline Otters do have the read here. It is a 3-person lean, but the convergence is going to be put down. It's going to make the entirety of Aquila pull back. But do you see ultimates invested, but no space has been secured by this attacking side. They're going to back away too.
Well, I think that's a wise idea not to be investing any ultimates, but they've also lost so much ground, and you've got to be clearing all these angles now, especially with how Skyline Otters have been playing. I mean, just look at this. They're checking every angle, trying to make sure and see where the next Skyline Otter member is going to be popping out to pop all of their heads. Certainly that's the risk that they seem to be been facing consistently. But Skyline Otters here have been trying to move around to recontest, find the ground once again. Fortunately, a member does go down for Skyline Otters. It could be the opening that Aquila need. Another player down as well. Sweek could be able to find that kill. As they start to pass on to B, but they already have the chamber set up. Cake Muncher unfortunately goes down, leaves from Colby to anchor the site.
10 seconds
1v5
left.
situation. I mean, they're playing a bit fine with the Sprite plant, but it's the first time. Team Ace as well. From Team Aquila. I actually thought it was really well done.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a fear from me there. Again, the Sova is sticking behind over on A site. And this team if anything, does in fact lack a little bit of initiating power without that Sova. So I was a little worried there on the push out to B, but Skyline Otters playing a little bit too aggressive, maybe getting a little bit big for their boots. Pushes out aggressively, gets caught out a couple times, and then obviously on B, they're not in a great position. No one's playing up in heaven. They got surrounded. It's just not a great look for Skyline there as they all fall. But you're going to see a little bit of an alteration yet again. Angel so far forward, finds Sweesk.
Beautifully far forward, able to get that kill. Now they're starting to put some more mental pressure onto Aquila, which is something that we saw before. Chamber as well, it's not the only player. Oh, able to get the kill onto throwing. That's not the position that you want to be in. Skyline Otters have a dominant position on the map now. They have so much map control. They're really forced Aquila now into this A-slide push. And it's all that they really need now, because there's a Cypher sitting down on site. The rest of the members of Skyline Otter appear to be hunting for the rest, checking, confirming, and it definitely is only A-site. That's the only place these members could possibly be as they leave the site. But they're surprised again by Angel for coming in, and they're going to get caught out by Colby, who's also coming in from that angle.
Yeah, they're just doing such a good job at controlling the entire map. I mean, obviously they play it really smart. Obviously, for us, it looks like they're being maybe a little bit over, anal about the entire thing, going back and checking B, because obviously we can see everyone sitting on A, but they don't know that. So
no,
they
of course
have
not. Yeah.
kind of enclosing in on A, but they have two people going to check B just to make sure there's no flankers. And the moment they have that cleared, they just it's like a vine trap, just completely encasing them onto that A main space, not giving them any more space onto the site either, just keeping them in main, and it just becomes like shooting fish in a barrel. And they get the 8th round on the board. Aquila, I mean, they're showing signs that they're a really good team, and they're making adaptations. And it's not like they're just kind of running headfast into a wall. This is not insanity here, running the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. They are changing things up. It's just Skyline Otters are just playing so clean.
They really are playing so clean. This time around, unfortunately, the aggression is not rewarded from Skyline Otters. Even though they are also changing up just as much as Aquila appear to be. But it's just enough, though, for Aquila to make a change. They have been able to go deep into... not that deep, sorry. Into mid. To give themselves some information. And the server hasn't seems to have bothered to find them. They are droning it out now. Looking for a B-side hit with this time where the Cypher is currently sitting. Now trying to find those kills. Are able to get the kill for those kills. Could be just what they need now. 4v2 situation, but the amount of times they've been in a 4v2 situation and things have turned around and not been in the favor of Aquila has been unfortunately high in this series. But Colby, although I believe in miracles, they have this orb. I just don't think we're going to be seeing anything too much. Oh, they are able to find a pick. Just 2 more and they secure yet another round. But how are gonna Aquila be playing around this? Because the advantage is currently in their favor. It's kind of hard to be playing with this operator. With how you gotta peek these angles, it puts yourself at a lot of risk. But there's 2 members that do choose to peek around at the same time, and they secure that kill. Beautifully played. Able to get yet another round win, turning that scoreline into 8-3, but there's still a lot of rounds remaining in the difference between Skyline Otters and Aquila. I'm not sure if this gap is going to be changing anytime soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a monumental task for them to overcome. I do want to say, what an insane reaction time from Colby there. Obviously, finding that second kill only as an op and a shorty and 15 health. So I don't think anyone is complaining that they don't close out that round. But man, they immediately find the second kill with the op, and they are expecting, and they know that swing from the right is coming. So they immediately swap over to the headhunter and almost find the kill. Very, very close round for them. Really far closer than it probably should have been. Again, 15 health and a dream and an op, I guess. We do see Aquila yet again put a little bit of pressure on A. Doesn't really get too much information besides the fact that there's some players sitting there. But the quick rotation from that Yoru Could be making its way towards B, though there is a Cypher set up here. We have not seen that really so far. That's been mostly sitting on A. It's going to be something to overcome.
Oh, they are able to get this elaborate here. You're sitting in the back with the Cypher, and now, having heard and seen them go down, Skyline Otters are pushing into the site. The rest of Aquila appear to be fleeing the site, leaving only one member around. The Sweep is doing their job. They are able to pick up a kill. But unfortunately, Skyline Otters, they have called the bluff. They are making their rotations already. They know that the back is secure. They're rushing over. The spike is planted. I have hope in Aquila. I really want to put a lot of faith into Aquila to not only win these rounds, but also win the map. And if they continue to play like this, I think it might be on the cards. Maybe I'm a little bit too hopeful. Harbor Wall does go up as well, limiting the information available to Skyline Otters.
Who's next?
They are going to be having to play a little bit more cautiously, but now that they know that there isn't really anything on the other side, they can take their time. They could be a little bit more cautious.
Last player standing.
They just flawlessly go into the site, pick up the kills that they need to. I mean, I think that was the strategy they've been trying to put off for a while now, and it's glad to see that it worked, but I mean, why did it work this time around and not in any of the previous rounds?
Yeah. I do think maybe a little bit of overconfidence from Skyline Otters. They are taking a lot of 1v1s. They're playing super aggressively like they used to, but they're not relying on like two or even just trying to overpower them in numbers like they did in the past. And now they're starting to lose those 1v1s. I think that's the big deal. And obviously, a lot of the first bloods have now been going the way of Aquila. So that's something to look out for. And notably, when we started this map, I did say one of my big concerns was the fact that Aquila has a more defensive-sided composition, but they're starting on the attack side, so I was a little bit worried that they were going to have a rough start out the gate. But now, second part of that half, looking pretty good, and now swapping over to the defensive side, I'm a lot more hopeful for the stakes here for Aquila.
Yeah, I think so too, but unfortunately Skyline Otters are playing aggressively down this mid once again, just like we were seeing before on Corrosive, backing off eventually after they were able to pick up a kill on this first pistol round. Moving over to B site, but unfortunately for Aquila, they seem to have miscalled it. They seem to be thinking that it's on an A hit, and they haven't really been checking around to see if anybody's B. I'm not sure this is going to be working out in their favor. Playing it slow once again, trying to clear these angles.
Yeah, the rotation's very slow from Aquila here. I mean, we saw it was a very slow push out from them on the attack side, but now on the defense. That being said, they do catch the one sitting in mid, but Spike has gone down. It's a 3v4. They're in awkward angles.
They are at awkward angles, but Florian is able to find the opportunity to get the kill, in part thanks to the great usage of abilities, isolating that fight off with the wall as well. Elaborate here is having a mind of their own, getting a 3k already. Oh, isn't quite able to finish it off and clutch the round out, giving enough time, I believe, to Aquila to get that defuse. Defenders win that round, and that round difference that was looking almost insurmountable before, it's getting awfully close. 8-5 now.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, 3-round difference. They pick up that pistol, which is massive for them. That does mean that they're going to be able to buy into here. And notably, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to afford anything in terms of rifles, as they are electing to go for those heavy shields rather than, light shields and a rifle. But they're still going to pick up Spectres, one Bulldog, an Outlaw. So a lot of firepower. Meanwhile, Angel's going to be the lone hero with that singular Marshall, hoping to maybe find a little bit of value out of it. You do see Colby try to play aggressively here, but can't find anything on the chamber. Gets head hunted with the headhunter in hand.
I mean, that's really not how you want to be going down, unfortunately. Colby, an excellent AWPer, and they've been playing incredibly well previously, but unfortunately they were not able to make it work. It's very hard to be playing aggressively in that kind of situation, let alone when you're against a headhunter like that. But they have chosen to instead go for a B hit here, as Throwing chooses to back off of sight, give it up, control, go for the retake. And Oh, they are able to take down Florentina, who's been a powerful player so far for Skyline Otters. And the retake is going to be happening soon as the rest of the players of Aquila are coming around, but it's just a matter of time before the spike goes down. They've only got so much remaining. They are able to play around the spike though in this 2v4 situation. King Muncher chooses to make the decision, is going in and out of this smoke.
One enemy
Able to
remaining.
pick up those kills,
Last
equalizing it
player
now down
standing.
to a 1v1 situation. But I don't think they appear to be aware of the defuse going on. Oh no! Mickey use of the smoke disappearing. Wonder picking up their final kill, giving them yet another round win for Aquila. This is going incredibly well for Aquila.
Very close there. I mean, any other, firepower there, even a sheriff from like Frenzy or even a Ghost, I think that is a winnable round. But the Classic, yet again, the Classics have been a very doomed weapon here. I don't think anyone's really done particularly well with it in hand, except for maybe that one round with the low health bars on like round 2 of the first map. But here,
Be right back.
Aquila putting a row of rounds to get there, but Florentina, now with a rifle in hand, already having a different say in round number 3 of this half.
Yeah, well, they've seen them just go how aggressively into A side as well. And with these weapons and the firepower available to them, they are having a bit of a different half this time around for Aquila. They have kind of managed to identify that it is going to be an A side hit, but there is a Cypher lurking around in the background that they haven't cleared out. Bit of a playstyle difference between those two teams. Skyline Otters would have definitely tried to find and flush that background. Oh, beautiful kill here by Florentina here on the offensive, able to keep the site secure against the retake, making it difficult. Skyline Otters getting those kills where they need to. King Muncher finding the final player. Wonder just not able quite there to secure that round victory. I guess that was because of the weapon advantage this time. Skyline Otters, they had firepower this time.
Yeah, they made a lot of use of it. I mean, immediately the way like finding that kill, Florentina opening up proceedings and immediately using the dashes to go in and just take so much space onto A. I mean, we didn't really see Aquila take a lot of that control, and we're seeing Skyline Otters immediately use it into their advantage. It makes it very difficult for Aquila to do much or have much say. As we see, they try to play up aggressive. Yet again, same situation. Florentina finds Sweesks, who is trying to play aggressive in a main.
And Florentina is doing incredibly well as well, getting 3 kills already as they played so aggressively, getting so much space for the team. It's the exact opposite of what we were seeing from Aquila, who are playing it so cautiously, like tiptoeing into the side every time. Skyline Otters, they're playing it more like Paper Rex. They have been certainly taking notes out of the same kind of playbook. Okay. Wonder here, picking up a kill against Florentina, going for a slow retake. They have to, clearing it angle by angle. Trying to find where these players are. They should know there's one below them, but they just missed themselves because of the timing. And unfortunately for them, Cake Muncher and Angel take the remaining players down. Another win for Skyline Otters. They just took so much space, man, and they were able to secure and keep the site secure as well against that retake and bringing them the victory. Only 3 rounds left, potentially, for Skyline Otters to win this.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a very scary position for Aquila to be in. Obviously, on a very good run, but they really need it to secure that bonus because now, having lost the bonus, and then lose the full buy round for them, they're now on the save, sheriffs in hand. You imagine this is going to be another round for Skyline Otters. They have the firepower to do so, which will put them at that 11 marker, which is a very scary position to be in, especially Colby just running it in the mid, finds 2 off the rip.
Find a third? They do indeed find a third. That's incredible. Oh, sorry, never mind. Oh, I got the wrong side around. Wonder stops the rampage. There we go. Florentina, though, picks up the final kill of Wonder, who's the remaining player of Aquila.
Yeah, And the fact that it's in flawless fashion means that there's going to be a healthy economy for the side of Skyline Otters. This is a do or die round. Aquila have to buy out here. They have to win this round. I mean, they could technically... No, there's no reason for them to save. They have to buy out here. They need to win this. And honestly, they kind of need to win it convincingly. Because if, you know, they don't win this convincingly, they won't have the money to full buy into the next round either. So we need to see a win here. It needs to be a convincing one. Aquila need to do something. Turn the tides back into their favor.
Yeah, I certainly hope they'll be able to turn the tides back in their favor. Harbor, a master of the tides. I don't know whether it's going to be with them this time around. Oh, but Throwing is able to pick up the kill against Florentina, who've been playing so aggressively, punishing that aggression as they flew straight into them. But unfortunately, they do give up sight, and I think that's probably the right decision. They've got to now put themselves in a retake. They do have the man advantage. But now it's all about making sure the site is secure. How are they going to be retaking this? They have ultimates available. They have to be winning this dominant. And Angel is going to be using and committing the silver ultimate, which makes sense to make sure and stave off any kind of recontest. Picks up one kill there by Sweet.
Last player standing.
Angel remaining here is able to find one. Might find two, three. Does not find them all, but two members down. I mean, there's still going to be an impact on their economy for sure. I wonder if that's going to be enough for Skyline Otters to maybe take the next victory.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit tight, I think, in the wallet, but that does stem the bleeding quite a bit. That being said, we definitely also need to see a win off of this round, because a win off of this round means that their economy will be in a really good spot, pretty much regardless of if they end up losing next, which gives them a lot more room to breathe. But obviously, an 11-7, one map down, and the best of 3, it's kind of all do or die. But if they can win this round, get a good amount of money back into their pocket, they'll be breathing at least a little bit easier. We do see that the read is correct here from Skyline Otters. It is just the singular Vice sitting on site. It does not actually have a lot set up for this defensive side, so they're going to get this site. It's going to be for free. We do have the flanking Cypher that's going to be able to stop any flanks coming up from behind in main. Florentina really far forward on site, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Just scouting out the area, trying to make sure that it's secure, seeing where people are going, get a heads up on things.
Jeez.
These ultimates are coming out. They're finding these kills. Eventually, Sweesh is able to get that kill. Ryan picks up a kill as well. Now it's just a 2v4 situation. Tapping the spike, trying to prevent them into a more aggressive play. Now one member remaining. They are able to see the little tiptoes there on this other side of the smoke. Aquila able to pick up another round victory. It's starting to get closer and closer between these two teams. Aquila might be able to turn this around and get a map victory.
Yeah, I mean, only 2 surviving, not amazing, but it's definitely better than nothing. I mean, that is going to be a pretty good, you know, a little bit buffer for them. I don't think they're going to be able to buy into this round. But honestly, every round that they win in a row is going to really help them out. Yeah, it is still a little bit tight, but it is going to be a full buy. We're actually not seeing a full buy. Colby sitting on the Classic. Obviously, Tour de Force is in play. So I'm imagining you're seeing that pop immediately. It is going down B. There's a lot of players sitting there. There's possibility for them to find a pick with that. As a lot of space on mid has been taken.
Yeah, it has all been taken. They haven't found any picks, but they have found plenty of space for them to sit and linger. And now it's been putting pressure onto Aquila. There's very little they can do, but there are kills going on elsewhere on the map. Cake Muncher finds one. Chamber with the ultimate finds another as well. Shriek able to try and stop the tide now. Finds a kill. Finds 2 kills. 3 kills maybe. Oh, not quite. Taylor though finds a kill with a Cake Muncher. Now in a 2v3 situation. You've got 3 other players turning around, but you've got this operator now with their available. He's able to get another kill. It's only going to be a matter of time with someone who's skilled with aim. Shriek is able to find the kill. 1v1 situation.
just took enough time. It doesn't
Angel
matter.
plays the time beautifully, able to pick up that kill, forcing that 1v1 situation. It's like, do you go for the spike or do you come to me? And they chose to go to Angel, and Angel, well, they are all the more ready and happy to take that option, picking up the kill, putting them now into match point for Skyline Otters.
And that was kind of the downside. I mean, buying out last round is good. It gave them the best odds, and they kind of threw away the 3v2. It's just not amazing for them. They're going to be able to invest some, but obviously Sova is going to be rocking the Sheriff. They don't have any ultimates or weaponry built into kits, so they're not going to have jet knives or the Tour de Force to play around. As we do see Aquila having to play a lot more passive. I even hesitate to say 1-2-2 as Vice is barely on site, setting more into a CT position. As B is just going to be taken. Plant is going to go down. I'm assuming we're going to see yet another post plant coming out from Skyline Otter here with a little bit of forward aggression from Colby and Florentina. Aquila going to be in an awkward spot trying to retake, going up against much better firepower.
That has put them in a bit of a difficult situation in the long term. Florentina able to pick up the kill as well with the Marshall. And they are starting to go down. Unfortunately for Aquila, they were looking so good. Now it's just a 2v5 situation. Oh no! Colby able to pick up the final two members. Victory for Skyline Otters. 13-8. Skyline Otters go 2-0, but it's not the only thing that this means as well. Prosperity X will not be heading on to the playoffs either, unfortunately, after this 2-0 victory from Skyline Otters.
Yeah, it's a very strong victory for them. I believe that also means, does that mean that they're top of the group as well?
Yes, it
I'll have to take a
does.
look. Yeah, it does. So, I mean, and the funny thing is, it's the only team that they lost to so far in this group was Prosperity. So the same team
Yes.
that they beat first week is the same team to knock Prosperity out in the end. But I mean, you can't say it's not deserved. After playing two series, because starting or like at the beginning of yesterday, I believe their round count was a complete neutral of 0, or a round difference, excuse me. And in the end, they had a round count of a difference of 18 going into today, and obviously the 13-1 is really going to be a massive stat patter. But they're going to be looking really good statistically going into these playoffs, especially with that bye, as we do see the numbers come into play. And Florentina, I mean, you can't say that they weren't on their game today. Incredible performance again. Maybe not that 536 that we saw in game 1, but 310 is nonetheless still impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, their entire team is still consistently high as well. We're seeing, ACS is in the high, in like above 200, 245, not that far away. I mean, I'm sure some people will probably disagree, but again, Florentino just becoming up MVP is well and truly deserved. 24 kills again, really high numbers, putting out those stats. 4 first bloods, but I mean, you were pointing this out before about first bloods being such a important metric and how you're able to kind of capitalize on those kind of victories and play off of them for a round win. And Aquila, last time they only got one one
Yeah.
first blood,
First,
but now they have
first kill.
4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Those first bloods are massively influential. That I've beyond ACS or stats, I really think the first bloods are, the key difference maker. When you see like really good teams like in VCT, beyond having really good, fraggers, you also have to have a player that is really good at getting those first bloods. I mean, Aspas is incredibly good with pretty much any gun in the game, but the thing that he really brings to the table is the fact that he gets like 5 to 7 first bloods every single game. And that's
Hello and welcome back. We've got an amazing interview coming up, as you can tell, with Angel from Skyline Otters. Was playing absolutely amazingly in the match we just saw, and honestly, I gotta give you credit. I think you played amazingly, Angel. So thank you so much for coming onto the stream and giving us allowing us to ask some questions to you. But that recent match against sorry, in the recent match that you just played, how did you feel that went for you?
I mean, it went fine. I just set my teammates up to be goats, and I just did my support role.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, a really strong performance, and I think very deserving of the first seed that you have locked in with that performance as well. So I mean, I personally love to stir up a little bit of drama, especially as we go into the playoffs, make it a little bit more interesting for everyone. So, seeing as you have gotten that bye, you're going to be in the semifinals no matter what. Are there any teams that you're kind of hoping you're going to get the face down in the semis, who you're maybe hoping to match up against before the finals?
uh, no, I think every team in this tournament's bad. No offense, 20 like players, but I guess Prosperity because we lost to them, and it was like in my opinion, it was a fluke loss. We were like just playing bad, but um, yeah. So Prosperity, we're looking to knock Prosperity out of the tournament.
You actually did. With this, you did knock Prosperity out of the tournament. They came fourth in your group. So you've already
Wait,
done
so
so. You won't even see them in the playoffs.
oh well, not oh then I guess Catnappers because they were like fun to play against.
Immediately taking back the all the teams are bad. Oh, we're just having an off day. Actually, no, it was really fun to play against Prosperity X. I mean, I have seen Prosperity X play, and honestly, they were an absolute joy to watch. They were an incredibly well-oiled machine in the broadcast that I've seen. But you did also kind of ask the only other question I was thinking of was precisely that about your loss against Prosperity X was one of the first things that came across my mind. But unfortunately, Prosperity X are not going to be in the playoffs, and I mean, I
That's
think
kind
my
of
question already got answered. Well, how do you feel about that? What would you how do you feel that
that's really
you've knocked Prosperity X out of the tournament?
that's really funny. That's that's my ex team, so like to kind of like to be the reason they don't make it is kind of
Yeah.
funny. After leaving the team, like joining the Skyline team, not really knowing like what what comes next after leaving Prosperity to like knock them out of the tournament's kind of funny.
Absolutely. We love a good revenge game. Not really. You didn't play him today, obviously, but very. I was looking at the stat. Yeah, you've knocked him out there in fourth, and very funnily, it wasn't even due to. I think it came down to head to head. Because them and Kinetic had the exact same round differential. So it was very close. They almost made it in, but just not quite able to get past Kinetic. But I think I've got the final question for you. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Angel, is there anyone you want to shout out? And anyone watching in the crowd that you want to give a shout out to, team, coaches, family, etc.?
Um, Shout out the team. Uh, Shout out the CEO Space Boy again. My fucking goat. Wait, I'm not all swearing these. It's my goat. Um, and shout out my girlfriend, I guess. And yeah, I mean that's it. That was fun.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Again, appreciation to all those people, and also appreciation to my amazing co-caster who has been here the whole time, Soren, as well as our producer and observer, Cicerus, who's been here to support us. Thank you once again as well, Angel, for coming online and being here to, you know, uh, be here in the interview, answer some of our questions, and it's been amazing to watch you guys play. And I wish you all the best of luck in your playoffs. But I believe that is all from me for today on the Tenax series, season 5, Game Changer series. And I just want to give you again more thanks, Angel, for coming online and for giving us this amazing interview. It's really been an honor to being able
way.